Hey guys, this is Jared with Trident Fly Fishing, and today we're going to be tying a very classic bonefish fly. We're going to tie the Squimp. It's a little shrimp pattern. Basically uses a couple materials. You can vary it a little bit. I'm going to try to tie it as traditionally as I can, and I'm going to tie it pretty light with some bead chain eyes. But feel free to change it up, add some dumbbell eyes, use some dubbing, change up the colors, and we're going to get started on this thing right now. Okay, so in the vise today, I have a pretty standard hook. I have the Tiemco 811S in a size 4. This is probably my favorite size for this. It's a good versatile size right in the middle. You can go down to a 6, up to a 2, change it up, look for the shrimp in your area, talk to your guide, see what they're using. So for thread, I'm going to use UTC 140 in cream, and I'm just going to start this right behind, or right in front of the hook point, and just get a couple wraps, get my thread on there. Take care of that. Grab some craft fur. So for craft fur today, I'm going to use tan. You could use pink as well. That seems to be a very popular color here. So I'm just going to grab a small chunk. Keep this fly pretty sparse in the tail. Guys, if you like this video, make sure you hit subscribe. Hit the bell notification so you're notified of all of our future fly tying videos. And that way you never miss when we release one. So I've just stripped out the fuzzy stuff on this. I'm going to take a measurement. And this is almost preference. I like mine to be slightly longer than the shank here. I don't want to go too long because I feel as though you can get some fouling issues, but right about there. So I'm just going to take out the junk I don't need here and tie that right above the hook point. Cover that up and just bring it back. And you can see I've kept it pretty sparse. This is maybe a little bit heavier than I typically tie them, but that's okay. So the next thing I'm going to do is tie in some crazy legs. I have them in a pumpkin with purple flake, which I thought was pretty cool. It adds a little bit of flash, but nothing crazy. So I'm just going to double those over and put one on my side of the hook shank. And I'm going to grab another leg and do the same thing. Just fold them over my thread and place them where I want them. So how I like to do this is just take a wrap or two up and then fold these things back. And essentially what I've done is just double them over. But that's an easy way to get them in secure and right where you want them. Cover those up. For leg length, longer than the tail, shorter than the tail, right at the length of the tail, doesn't really matter. That looks good to me right there. So next thing I'm going to do is just tie in some copper wire, and this is what we're going to use to rib. You could probably leave this out. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I forget to put it in. It doesn't do too much. It adds a little bit of segmentation, and it also adds a little bit of flash. So for eyes, this is again where you can vary this up a little bit. I'm just going to use medium bead chain eyes in silver. And you can see I've kind of created a nice little bump and something to tie against here by tying in my materials right by the hook point. So just get that on there. The next thing I'm going to do is grab the body material, which is going to be ultra chenille. And I just have this in a tan color. So I like to strip the material off the core here so I have a nice tie-in point. That way I'm not tying in a ton of bulk right at this point here. So come up through, create a thread base. I'm just going to leave my thread right there, right behind the hook eye. It's just going to wrap this through. I always try to get a nice body, but, however it comes out. So up, around, you create a little bulk there, and it creates pretty good shrimp taper by doing that, by going around the eyes. So I do like to keep this behind the hook eye a little bit so we don't build up too much bulk. And then I'm just going to take that out. Very good. So we're going to invert this fly after I rib it. Through. I'm just going to helicopter that off. Maybe. There it is. So I'm going to invert this fly real quick. I'm going to tie my wing in. So for the wing, we're just going to use craft fur again. This can be a little thicker and a little longer than your tail. So just take a chunk that's slightly thicker than what you used before. Again, strip out the fuzzy stuff at the bottom. You don't want that extra bulk. So I'm going to take a measurement, and I like my wing to extend beyond my tail, or almost level with my tail. Right around there, looks good. So took that measurement, cut it to length, and then I'm just going to pinch wrap that on top. And I missed. Okay. There we go. It looks pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is throw a single piece of crystal flash and pearl on either side of this wing. So if I just fold it like that and then come back, it ends up more or less on either side of the wing. So I'm going to tie that on there and then clip it a little bit longer than my wing. You can adjust that. So to finish this fly off, I'm going to tie in another crazy leg in the same color. And I'm going to tie it in on either side of the hook shank. So this one here, this is my length I want. I want it to extend roughly to halfway to my tail. I'm just going to tie it in on my side, come up, a single wrap there, fold it over, and then I'm going to set my length for the front ones here. Just about there. Come through. And then I can take a measurement and chop that one off there. So basically we're done. I just want to get through here, whip finish. And then, get rid of that. Cut those off. Oh no. And then adjust my legs. They should stick out here and you should get like some movement there when you strip it. So basically, you're done here. Finish it off with super glue, UV cure, whatever you want here. Sally Henson's, but that's it. The Squimp, very simple. Couple materials, just your standard bonefish materials. I'm sure you guys got a ton of craft fur on your desk, some crystal flash. Super easy, super simple. Change it up, change the colors, change the sizes. All right, guys, try it out. Let us know in the comments what you want us to see us tie next, and we'll see you next time.